Hi all. I wish you have a happy Tuesday. Today our topic of discussion is licensing and WLC and AP deployment. So we would be discussing on this topic and also looking at the configuration which is required for the licensing in both 3504 and the 9800. So we would be exploring that particular concept. Before going to that, so let's refresh the concept that we studied in our previous session. So that is nothing but the AP join process. So I hope everyone got the concept, like how exactly the AP boots up and then it goes into the discovery phase and then goes to the join phase and then the run phase. That is nothing but once the configuration is downloaded and also it's ready for the operations. Uh, So AP registration, you can see on then the operations. Once the AP connects to the WLC and starts sending the traffic through the CAPAP tunnel. So once operational, the AP and WLC maintain communication via the CAPAP control channel. Heartbeat messages will be exchanged periodically. And if a keep alive fails, the WLC marks the AP as unreachable. And then it will do the client management like the client's authentication, mobility, QoS policy, and all things will be um, maintained. So this is the flow that we witnessed yesterday's session. So the AP sends a discovery request, then you get a discovery response. But before sending the discovery request, the AP has to get the information about the WLC. So for getting the information, there are multiple ways which we talked about yesterday, like the DHCP, DNS, then it will send a broadcast, right? Or else it will use the last uh, WLC information that it was registered to. It can hold up to eight WLC values in its memory. Once it sends the discovery request, you get a discovery response. Then the DTLS establishment happen at the join process. This is what we witnessed in the yesterday's session. Once the DTLS session is established, then the join request is sent, then join response, then image data, the configuration status request, then it will send a response. Then you can see change state event request, change state event response. Then it goes into the run phase. If you remember, we saw that's the last phase. And then the keep alives would be sent on a regular basis. So echo request, echo response for just like a heartbeat. If any incremental configuration changes are there, so that configuration update request and update response will be sent. So whatever is there in the red, so that is the CAPAP control messages. Whatever is present in the blue, so that's the data. So let's dive into the topic of licensing. As any product, Cisco wireless controller and APs also has to be licensed. For 3504, the licensing was pretty straightforward, where you can use the right to use license. So the right to use license is nothing but a paper license where the license is present on the paper. You are not actually going and installing it, but it should be present. The amount of APs a WLC can support depends on the model of the AP, model of the WLC, sorry. Okay. Depending on the model, so you can use the maximum APs that possible. But when you raise a request with Cisco tag and you have purchased the RTU license of 50 APs, but Cisco tags discovers that you are using 100 APs instead of the 50, so then they might not support you. So the licensing is not going to restrict you from using the APs. It is the hardware capability that restricts in 3504. So types of licenses for 3504: base license, DNA license, HA license. So base license comes with permanent support up to 150 APs, and again it depends on the model of the AP. Includes base features like mobility, QoS, basic security. Mobility, as you know, is a feature when a client wants to roam between one access point to another access point. And quality of service, we already know that, and the basic security. So there are optional licenses like the DNA licenses and high availability license. DNA license for advanced analytics, automation, and assurance, it is used. For HA, it enables redundant controllers. So depending on the feature, you have the DNA license for advanced features, and the basic features are covered in the base license. And these are perpetual license, like these license are forever. License calculation for 3504. Total AP licenses required, number of APs deployed. Okay. You have the license that the device can support is 150, but you are using 50. The number you are deployed is 50. So then the license count is 50. If you have 20 APs, you need, this is the part code. Okay. When you are ordering the license, you need a part code. So this is the particular part code. So basically what happens is the pre-sales people in your organization or Cisco team, so they will prepare something called as bill of material, BOM, or you can say BOQ, bill of quantity. So once they prepare BOM or BOQ, so they do it on the Cisco Commerce Workspace, that is CCW. In the CCW portal, so they will load the order. When they load the order, they have to you have to provide the part code to them, or else depending on the client's requirement, they will choose the part code and they will load that part code, and accordingly it will show the pricing. So that's how they will create a estimate, a BOM, bill of material they will create. Since so this particular part code is of 25A, that is nothing but it supports 25 APs. But your requirement is 20, but there is no part code available for 20. So you have to purchase 25 license. So that is how it was. Since there is no exact 20 AP SKU. SKU is not there for 2020, but 25. So that's how the licensing was done in 3504. You just purchase it. It is present on the paper, but not, you are not going to install that license in the device itself, right to use license in the 3504. Only the hardware is the limitation for the licensing. Let's look into the 9800 licensing. So we have moved from the right to use license to the smart licensing, because the things going into the cloud and following the kind of a Microsoft based licensing where it is subscription based. Earlier, Cisco used to focus on selling the appliance like the servers or these hardwares. But now over the time, they have picked up and they have changed their marketing where they are selling the subscription now instead of selling the focusing on hardware. So now it is a subscription based, as everything is going to cloud, right? So there is less hardware. So the subscription based license is for 3 years, 5 years, 7 years. That's a flex based licensing. Okay. And earlier it was like the right to use license, or you install the license into the device and that's it. But now with the smart licensing, there is a licensing server on the cloud that is called as CSSM. Okay. So your device, the WLC, is going to send the usage to the cloud server. Okay. WLC is going to send the usage to the cloud server. How many APs are registered? So it calculates calculates the usage and sees how many are installed in the CSM cloud portal. So it is nothing but a portal. Okay, CSSM. So now you might have a question if the WLC directly communicating with the internet, because the CSSM, the software manager, the licensing portal, so that is on the cloud, on the internet, right? So obviously the WLC has to send the usage through the internet, but it's not safe. So you can use natting and all, and you can send. So different kinds of smart licensing models are there, like the direct model is there, median model is there, where the WLC is directly sending the usage to the cloud portal. That is, the WLC, the DNS that you configure in the WLC should be able to resolve or have the connectivity to tools.cisco.com. Okay, this is the portal that it needs to reach. So when you configure the DNS server in the WLC, make sure that this DNS can resolve the IP and send the traffic. The WLC can send the traffic to the CSSM. Either it can directly contact this, or else you can have one server in between, and that is going to proxy the usage to the CSSM. In this also you have multiple things. You can use your own HTTPS proxy servers, you can build and you can use it, or else Cisco only provides a software, a satellite software will be provided, so that you can use, and it will be sending periodic usage report to the CSSM. What happens if it loses connection with the cloud portal? Then it will be there, like 90 days of period will be there, where it is going to try to connect. The WLC tries to connect. If it fails to connect, the basic functionality will not be a problem, but the advanced one will not work. And also you cannot reset the WLC. So that we will see in a bit, like what are those important points to note. So this is the type of licensing that is available. That is essential licenses, advantage license, and Cisco DNA license. Basic network connectivity, security, and policy are present in the essentials, and it is required for all APs. So here also the licensing, if you see, it is based on the APs, tied to the APs, but not onto the WLC. Okay. And one more important thing that you need to make a note is 3504, and between the 3504 and 9800, here the licensing is not tied to any device, but rather it is on the cloud. Okay, you don't need to install it on the AP or do something or activate. It is on the cloud. Okay, so types of licenses: base essential, advantage, and Cisco DNA licenses. Advantage license includes advanced analytics, automation, and AI-based insights. So this 9800 follows DNAC style of licensing, DNA style of licensing, where it has got advantage and essential. Cisco DNA licenses mandatory for feature enablement. When the Cisco DNA license expires, the WLC and APs continue to function with base features but lose advanced analytics and automation. These features will be lost. So here you can see the smart licensing, that is essential and advantage. For 3-year subscription, 5-year, 7-year subscription you have. This is the old URL, tools.cisco. Okay, so now we have the smartreceiver.cisco.com. Okay. So instead of tools.cisco.com, there's a new portal, it seems, that's smartreceiver.cisco.com. So maybe the usage goes to that now. So this is the essential advantage licensing that we have in the smart licensing. You can see 3, 5, 7 years of subscription. So essential basic automation, you get basic assurance, and then you can see there is a element management, like software image, discovery, RMA. So these all things are there. Then we have the advantage. Advantage you can see for the automation SD access. If you want to use SD access, which we are going to learn in the later stage. So for that, the advantage license is required. Enhanced IoT security, policy-based workflows. So see the amount of features that is present. WebEx 360 and MS Teams 360, wireless 3D analyzer, AI endpoint analytics, troubleshooting, MRE-based wireless 6C integration. So for all these things, you need the advantage. So again, there are two types here. That is network essential, and one more is advantage. Network advantage. Network essential and network advantage. So network essential, essential wireless capabilities like .1x authentication. These all things, high availabilities are there, and FRA. So these all things for the network essentials. Network advantage. Here you have um VXLAN, the SD access, so that it will support AP service pack, AP device pack, and hot patching SMU. So these all are supported in the network advantage. Okay, network advantage. Just allow me a minute. So this one is okay. So I think till this point it is clear to you. So these are the licensing that are available, that is essentials and advantage license. That's the two category. And another categorization is network essentials, and then we have the network advantage. Okay, so do I need to license the controller itself? No, you are not licensing the controller, but just like the older ARI OS, where you are licensing the APs based on the AP, not the controller. Controller, if you don't join any AP, so it will work as it is. There will be no restrictions in using the WLC. It will work. Okay. And for access point, what licensing is required for the access point? So that is this two type. That is network essentials and uh, network license, DNA network license, air network license is required, and air DNA license is required for the APs. Air network license and air DNA license is required. Okay, these two are required for the access points that join to the 9800. So these are the two kind of license, air DNA license and air network license is required. And depending on if it is a basic use, you use the air network license. For other features like air DNA license for the advanced automation and all. So few APs, can I have air DNA license, and few APs can I have air network license? Yes, that is also possible. So that is not possible. You need to have the same kind of license for all the APs. In the next steps, I will show you where we define these licenses. Okay. So what happens if the usage of the license is not reported? So there is a limitation like after 90 days. If the usage is, it will try to send, it will try to reach the CSSM, but if it is not able to reach, so then the basic features will be working, but the advanced features will not be working on the WLC. Okay, so that is what happens when the usage is not reported. So what happens if the environment is too secure, where you do the deployments in the air gap, like the military or any other government organizations where there is no internet? So that in those kind of scenarios also, you can install some licenses that can locally activate and work as a perpetual license. So that particular license is called as specific license reservation, that is SLR license. Okay, SLR license. Um, SLR license. This is also AP based license where you are licensing the number of APs, and in that also whether air DNA license or air network license you are using, so that you can use. Um, so where it is very secure and the WLC is not able to reach the cloud, so that time you can purchase the SLR license. Okay, so that is how you can do. The benefit of smart licensing I will explain, but before that, one of the benefit of the smart licensing is you can transfer the license between the devices. Earlier, like if you are purchasing it for WLC 3504 for particular model, so it's a right to use license, perpetual license you get for that particular model. But now with the smart licensing, you can transfer that ownership to the another device as well. We know that the 9800 comes into appliance model and also can be deployed on the ESXi as well. So that we will see in the deployment. Yeah, like as I said, here also there is no limitation, but the hardware limitation is there. Suppose if you are using 9800 high-end model like 80, so it can support up to 6000 access points. If you use 9840, which is a medium density appliance model, it will support up to 2000 APs, maximum access point count. And there is 9800L, so that will support up to 500. And then the CL, it can support up to 6000. It is on the VM. Okay. So that's the amount of APs that it can support. And when it is sending the usage to the cloud, so that much license has to be loaded into the AP. Suppose you go for the HA. In the HA concept, where you have two 9800s, right? Two 9800s. In that case, what happens? In HA, there are two kinds of HA. One is a SSO, okay? One is a N+1. So if it is a SSO, stateful switchover, that is what is configured in 9800, same thing will be in the active and standby. The configuration will be mirrored. So in this case, what happens is you need to purchase the one set of license. Suppose if you have 50 APs, just purchase 50 AP license. If it is N+1, then you need to spread that license across two APs. Okay, where N+1 is nothing but you can register the APs here also, here also. They work independently. You need to mirror the configuration manually. But in the stateful switchover, so what you configure in the active server, so that will be replicated to the standby server. So that's the stateful switchover. In that case, you no need to license 50 AP license here, 50 AP license here. So you just need to purchase 150 license. So and also there is the configuration where you can go to admin page and then administration, and there from licensing. So there you can see that. Okay, that's the limitation for the HA, or how the HA works, HA license works. Okay. So this smart licensing connection, right, for every 8 hours, it will send the usage. Okay, that is also one important thing. Every 8 hours, it will send the usage to the CSSM. Like if it misses like three attempts, it is going to miss, right? So then it will change the status. There is status in the smart licensing that I will show what are the status. It is authorized and those things are there. I will just show you in the WLC itself. So these are the licensing model, direct cloud access. As you can see, the Cisco product, it is not only with WLC. Okay. You take any networking device, you take any security device, you take any collaboration device. So this is what the smart licensing, how it works. Through the HTTP or HTTPS, it is going to send the usage directly to the Cisco portal, the cloud portal. Okay. And then you can have a proxy server. If you don't want your devices to expose to the internet, you can just have a proxy server and it is going to send the usage. So instead of using your own proxy server, like you can create some Windows server and you can enable Tomcat and HTTPS. Through HTTPS, it will try to connect. So instead of that, you can have your own smart software manager license, manager satellite. So this is a software, you get it on the Cisco's portal. You can deploy it on the ESXi as a VM, and that will connect to the Cisco and share the usage report. So that is also possible. So mediated access through an on-prem collector disconnected. So if you don't want to have the connection, your environment is quite secure. So that time you can use like the file transfer way. Okay. So every time, so you need to download some file, put it into the cisco.com there, and then you can synchronize the usage. So manually you can do it. Send usage information to a local disconnected collector, which acts as a local license authority. Once a month, an exchange of human readable information will be performed to keep the database in sync. So this is how the licensing will work. And here you can see that in the direct model, so the WLC sending the usage report to the Cisco Smart Software Manager. So this is the CSSM portal, Cisco Smart Software Manager. And Cisco Commerce Workspace, this is where you will build your BOM. Okay. Then you can see WLC, switches, firewall, everyone is sending the usage report to the transport gateway. That is your custom one. Or else if you want to use the Cisco's smart software satellite, you can use. If it is a air gap, so then you can synchronize one time or you will get a file. So you can use the SLR license there if it is a air gap. Okay. And also offline monthly inventory update is there. So which we saw here, this one, this fourth one. Okay, that is this one. Monthly, you can just synchronize manually, you can synchronize. And in the air gap, you can use a SLR license. So in the smart licensing portal, this is how it looks. This is the license SKU and licenses. And here how the entry is there. So this is the smart software licensing portal. So here you need to generate one token, and then you have to, that token what you generate, so that has to you have to put it into your WLC. So this process I will walk through that process in a bit. So you can see once you install it, you can see the licenses here, Advantage Enterprise Services and term license like this, how much usage is there. Purchased is 10, but use is you're using is 10, using is 2, balance is +8. So like this it will show. And then you can see once you upload the license, once you purchase the license and install it in your account. This is your account. Okay, this is your account. So once you install it in your account, it will get reflected. So you can work with the Cisco. Cisco from the backend, they will load all the license here. Or else if you are aware of the process, you can only do it. So then it will be visible like this. And in the WLC, when you go to the WLC, so you can see the registration status registered and authorization status authorized. Suppose after 90 days, you are not able to communicate, then it will go into not authorized. First, it will go into not authorized, and then there is one more state it will go. Okay, we'll check that. So this is, you can see how the usage is there. Okay, yeah. So if it is not able to communicate, then it will go into out of compliance. Out of compliance, when it will go is the status. Suppose the usage is more than what you have purchased, so then it goes into out of compliance, and it will be there till the 90 days period. So once it passes, then it will go into out of compliance. Or I think initially only it will go into out of compliance, I guess, once the usage is more than what is configured. Okay. So now let's see this in practical. Let's go. So two things we have understood. Just to summarize what we have discussed till now. If it is a smart license, first thing is the pre-sales person is going to load the order into the CCW. He will create a bomb, and then your organization is going to raise a PO request, purchase order, and that will be given to the Cisco guy, and then it will be approved. So then the Cisco guy, he will work in the back end, and he will upload all the licenses into your account, virtual account in the CSSM. He will upload all the license. Then what is the next step that you will do? You will generate the token from here, from where you are going to generate the token from here, and that token you are going to copy that token and apply it into the WLC. And once you apply into the WLC, this is how it is going to look. Okay, the amount of licenses you purchased and all those things. And then it will keep on sending the keep alives depending on the model that you have configured, whether it's a direct model or a median model. So depending on that, it will be sending the usage report. If it loses connection, there are different states through which you can recognize it. If the usage is more, then it goes into out of compliance or authorized or not authorized. So like that, it will go. So these steps we'll see one by one now. Okay. So first we'll deal with the CSM and CSSM, and then with the WLC part, I will just show you. VM WLC requires license. Yes, it requires the license. Just like we discussed for this one, the appliance model, the 9800 also requires a VM also requires it. There's one more question also. Right to use license we are purchasing, or it comes by default landed with WLC? No, right to use license. Earlier they used to give the pack codes, right? Okay, earlier they used to give the pack codes. So this we used to install it on the devices and all. But right to use license is like a paper license. So you get some kind of certificate, that's it. Okay, that was in 3504. But now we have moved to the subscription model, right? So this is how the subscription model works. The usage is sent to the sent directly to the CSSM portal now. Okay, instead of I hope you got it. And the benefit of this is like you can do easy activation. Even if you are aware of the process, you can only walk through all these things. No need of a pre-sales guy and all. So it is easy activation, and you will get a complete view of all Cisco products and services in a single portal. Earlier, it was very much scattered, okay, but now it is like a unified thing. And also you will get a flexibility to transfer between one device to another device. You can just shift the license, and your software is not locked to your hardware. Okay, so you can usually use and transfer license as you need. Okay, that's the benefit of using the smart licensing in this wireless. Okay, let me share my screen. I mean, VM itself need license to deploy apart from AP license. See, once you deploy the VM or the appliance without the license, it will work in the evaluation mode for 90 days. So you don't need license for 90 days. Once that is completed, depending on the usage, you need to fill the license into that. You're not going to fill, but you are going to, send the usage to the CSSM. So, but VM requires a license. So in the next step, we will learn the deployment. So I will show you how to deploy these into VMs and what is the appliance. So that I will discuss. Okay. So as I said, the first step is to in the Cisco Commerce Workspace. So you can see here, you should be aware of this 9800 part code. If you want to purchase a 9840, so this is the base part code. Okay, this is the base part code. But what all you get in this part code is what you should be aware. So you just have one part code and you just purchase it, it will not work. Suppose you want one more power supply, one more power cord is required, or PSU unit, power supply unit is required. So then you need to get that particular part code and you need to load. Okay, and you can see this is the time it is used to ship and you will get the device, but normally it takes 3 to 4 months. So that is the reason people are moving to cloud, because if you want to purchase and then deploy, it takes a lot of time to ship, and you get onto the on-prem and then rack it, so do the licensing, spin the instance, so those all things, it takes time, right? And you can see the unit price also here in the INR. So 9,800 cost around how much? 43 lakh 52,000. No, that's not the actual price. I think it costs around 10 lakhs, I guess, for 9,800. Okay, but not this much. They will give some discount and all. It's the price that is listed here. Yeah, so this is how you can get the part code. So how you will be aware of this part codes? So you need to refer the data sheet. Okay, data sheet of each. Suppose if you go for 9,800, you want to purchase 40. Okay, so data sheet. So data sheet will be having the part codes here. Oh, the product is end of life. So it's end of life already. I was not aware of that. I don't know when it went to end of life. So what is the replacement for this? Anyone knows, like, what is the replacement for this? So end of hardware support is on 2026, and so here you can see the part codes. Okay, so this is for the controller module block. Suppose you want a extra model, okay, extra module for the Ethernet cable, 10 gig. So then you need to put this part code. You will get the part code like this, and you need to load the order into the commerce workspace here. You need to go to estimates. You can create a estimate here. You can take this part code like this, and you can create a estimate. Okay. Once you create a estimate, from here only you have to prepare a bomb, and then that will kind of give you the estimates over here. Okay, so you can see, so you can just add like this, and sometimes when you choose the higher part code, when you choose the higher part code, so this is the top level SKU, so it will have lot of part codes inside it. Okay, so I'll just add here. So once you add, so you can see here this is only the normal part code. Sometimes what happens is this part code will have lot of things inside that, like extra PSU unit if they are offering and all. So that also sometimes it will be there. Suppose you want a extra power unit, power supply unit, PSU unit. So then you need to get that part code from the data sheet and then you can use it. Okay. There are the part codes. Here you can see this is the enhanced SCFP part code. So this is the controller part code. This is the extra DTLS license part code accessories, but I think here we got a little bit more. Okay, so if you want to extra power supply unit, so then you need to submit this part code like this. Go to the commerce workspace and you can just try to search, but that SKU is maybe retired. It is not present here. Okay, so normally it is better to contact uh, these guys and just get it from here. So for the licensing also, you need to have, there is a part code that you need to add here. So similar to this hardware, right? So the licensing also will be having the part code. So you need to create an estimate from here only for the license as well. Mm, I'm not sure what is DNA. I think it is wireless. The part code is, this is for 9200. You can see this is the on-prem essential wireless Cisco DNA E. So this is the licensing one. Okay. So if I add here like this, so this is just a software. Okay. This is not hardware. So on-prem spare license. So Air DNA E. This is the part code for that particular license. And you can see valid as March 24. Oh, this is the deal expiration date. And also you will get it for 3 years, 5 years subscriptions. You can see edit service and subscription. So here you can see the duration, 60 months. This is also for 60 months, 5 years. So only 5-year term is available for this particular part code DNEE. Okay. So like this, you are going to load the order. So once you load the order, okay, once you load the order like this, then you come to the CSSM. So smart software manager. Go to this portal. I'm just entering my credentials, so I have just paused it. Okay, this is the CSSM. So click on manage license, manage licenses. And here you can see the inventory, these all things. And um, I think I will just stop. So it has, so this is the token that we generated from the CSSM portal. So here, this token you need to copy. And this token, you have to put it into this token, you have to put it into this. Okay. So now we are looking at a WLC here. Let me go to admin. Then friend 1, 2, 3, 4. Enter login. Oh no, admin. Just go at 1, 2, 3. Okay. So once this is done, so we go to the WLC, and in the WLC we are going to add that license. Okay. First step is you need to make sure that you go to the administration, go to DNS. Yeah, the DNS should be able to add ping that tools.cisco.com or the new one that is what is that? Um, smartreceiver.cisco.com. Okay, smartreceiver.cisco.com. It should be able to ping it. Okay. So once you make sure that it is all reachable and all good, then the next thing is the licensing. So again, you need to go to this administration and licensing. And in the licensing, here you can see authorization status is evaluation mode. This is the period. And failure reason failed to send out call home HTTPS. It is in evaluation mode. So in this one, if you see, destination URL is still this one. So I'm not sure if you want to change it to that new URL. That is what is that new URL? Smartreceiver.cisco.com. Maybe we need to change. Maybe we need to update the URL. So this is for the direct model. Okay. And once you can see the registration is failed. So I will just click on next. It will show the license depending on the count. So now I have registered one AP. Okay. So it is using these features. So that's why that automatically that count has come. So now if I use any other feature, that also it will add. Okay. So next, so here is the registration token I need to add, and I will say finish. But obviously it's going to registration process in progress. Click refresh. Okay. But it is going to go and check with my account, but it's not the right one. So it's not, it will not show anything. Okay. Unregistered registration pending. So it might trigger an email to someone, but yeah. So if you click on this change wireless license level, so you can see this APs, right? So it will have air network license and air DNA license. And but the current level is air network advantage. So this is the license type, but there are two levels in that. Either you can have air network essentials or air network advantage, but this one is using air network advantage. If you want to change it to air network essentials, you can change it from here. Okay. So obviously, what is the difference is it will support the more features. This is for the basic features it will support. Okay. And we have seen what is air network license and air DNA license, what all things it will cover. Okay. It is basically what things it is going to support or what features it is going to support. So those are the ones that are discussed here. Okay. And once you update the licensing, you need to reload. That is one important thing that you need to remember once the license is reloaded. So you need to do this in off hours in case if it is already, you are just adding some license. So that time you have to do it in off hours. So this is the direct model. The transport gateway also you can specify. You can specify the, you can send this resource usage report to the satellite in the median model or else the software that you get from Cisco. So that URL you need to just put it here. And it is pretty simple, right? So there is no nothing fancy about it. It's all pretty simple. So I have walked you through the whole process, like what has to be done. So how to load the order, then how to load the order, and then in the CSSM how to generate the token. Once the licenses are reflected, you take that token and you put it here, depending on the models that is there. So you can the usage will be reflected on the CSSM portal. Okay. So this is how the licensing will work in the 9800. But in the 3504, it is very straightforward. As I said, it's a right to use license. There is nothing much configuration and all that we need to do in the 3504. It's pretty straightforward. Okay. I think it is our 3504 is down. So maybe tomorrow I will just show you. It's just one tab. So it's pretty simple. So that's about the licensing. I thought today I would be completing the deployment also, but unfortunately because of the time we are not able to complete it today. But in yeah, this is a little old version, 16.10. So we can install while we are doing the lab, we can install the latest 17. Okay. Yeah. So I think I have answered all the questions. Is there any question that is not touched? Maybe for the AP without the license, AP can't join. Yes, it can join. So 90 days period, evaluation period will be there. So till that, you can join the APs to the hardware limitation. Okay, how much hardware it will support. I told you, right? So 9840, 80, it supports 6000, 2000. So like that, that limitation is because of the hardware. So once it crosses 90 days, then it goes into out of compliance mode. Then again you will have the basic functionalities, but not the advanced functionalities. You will not be having it. Okay, I think I have answered all the questions in the chat. So I think we should be good. So again, I want to tell you that so we are using how many APs can 9800? I told, right? So 9880 model, it will support 6000. 9840 model, it will support 2000. 9800L model, it will support I think 500. Okay, so depending on the models, it will the capability is there. So yeah, so what I was telling that instead of monday.com, we are using ClickUp. So you might have got the invitation. So you can just click and check the class status. I have not uploaded the complete topics, but I would be doing it in some time. But yeah, you can check out that one. I will upload the documents and all over there. So the licensing document, so all those things I will upload over there. So we are good for today. We will continue tomorrow with the deployment and deployment once we complete. Then the GUI overview I will give for both 3504 and 9800. So what all things are there. Then the basic configurations we do. Then we will register the client. Okay, that's the flow that we are following. So hopefully another 2 days. Let's see how far we can go.